Hi, guys. It is March 6th right now. We are heavily into the 2022 tax filing season. And the question of the season, which obviously we knew was going to be on everybody's minds, is Hurricane Ian. How do I take my damages, my tax write offs that I had to pay out of pocket from Hurricane Ian? I've done a ton of video streams on this. Go check our YouTube library or go back in our Facebook video history. However, what I want to focus on today is the people who say, "Oh, I didn't have any damage." And we say, "Really? You live in Cape Coral or you live off McGregor. That seems weird." And they say, "Oh, well, I mean, I didn't have any water in my house, but I had a little bit of roofing damage. I had some gutters come down. I lost some pool or my screen cage screens, and obviously I had a bunch of trees come down and, a little bit of fence repair. But I was really lucky because, so many others have lost so much more," which is true. But for your taxes, you still have damage. So I had one woman that I spoke with who felt very guilty about writing off her damages because in her mind, she had such a small amount of damages. Mind you, she had water in her garage, so she still had a lot of damages. But because so many people had so much more catastrophic damages than her, that she felt guilty taking them. And I explained to her that these tax write offs are for everybody. So you are entitled to take them if you have damages. It doesn't reduce somebody else's damages. So if my friend lost her entire home on Sanibel and I only have, call it, I don't know, $4,000 of screens and maybe some doors or windows or something small, that need to be tweaked a little bit, me taking my $4,000 of damages does not change her catastrophic damages on her taxes. These are allowed for everybody who had allowable damages. So let's talk for a second. I'm really talking to people who had 5 grand or less, because these are the people who didn't file an insurance claim because it was probably less than their deductible, didn't know they could do anything about it. So they just don't tell us. And then we're picking up the phone and calling them, sometimes twice. Sometimes we have somebody in my back office call, and then I get the return and I pick up the phone and call and say, "Really? You really didn't have any damages?" And then, of course, the story unfolds a little bit more. So if you had $5,000 in damages or less, you are allowed to write that off on your 2022 or 2021, but we're doing 2022 right now. So your 2022 taxes, even if you haven't fixed it yet. So a lot of people, that's the next question they're saying is, "Well, I haven't gotten a roofer out there yet, or I haven't fixed it yet, or I didn't fix it until 2023. To be clear, the hurricane was like September 28th. Most people didn't fix their stuff till 2023 because everybody was just in like survival mode in October. And then they were in the holy crap, how do I find a screen guy or a roofer mode throughout the rest of the year. So most people weren't fixing it. I still have out screen cages on my pool cage, and my husband does that or used to do that. So most people aren't fixing it until this year. It doesn't matter. The damage occurred in 2022. So your only options for taking your damages on your taxes are either to take them on your 2022 taxes or to amend your 2021 taxes and take them there. Now, if you had $5,000 of damage or less, like we said, you don't have to have it fixed yet. You also don't have to file an insurance claim. It's probably less than your deductible anyways. So what's the point in going through all of that hassle? It doesn't matter. If you had $5,000 damage or less, there is a special rule that the IRS came out with. It's called a safe harbor de minimis, DE minimis, MINIMIS. That means that you don't really have to have anything. Now, what I tell people is you should make a list, whether you're, write it out with a pen and paper type of gal, or whether you want to type that list stuff in Excel or OneDrive or whatever your online document storage thing is. You should type up what it is and you should take pictures. So, my solar panels were on the ground. I lost, I don't know, 10 screens in my pool cage. I had to redo my screen door in my front foyer because it got bent out of shape. My gutters were on the ground. I lost 5 giant trees. I had a tree fall on my fence. Like whatever it is, that's probably all more than 5 grand. So whatever of that is yours, I would recommend that you write that down. And hopefully you took pictures of it, or if it's not fixed yet, you can still go out and take pictures of it. So that, and if you've paid for some of it to be done, I mean, obviously, yes, you should keep your receipts, because if you get audited, they may ask to see that. But you don't need to have it fixed. You don't need to have paid for it. It doesn't matter. As long as it's $5,000 or less, you can use that safe harbor rule where you really just use your best guess on what you think that damage is going to cost for you to fix it, or what the damage sustained to your home was. And then you can take that on your taxes, because $5,000 worth of damage, call it a 20% tax bracket, it's going to save you like $1,000 on your taxes. So those people who don't know that they can take that because they didn't, in their minds, they didn't have a lot of hurricane damage, are losing out on, call it $800 to $1,200 in write-offs and savings on their taxes. And I know with everything going on, everybody could use some tax savings right now. So please reach out to me if you have any questions. We've had this conversation with probably every single one of our clients, because obviously everybody has some form of damage. I think we've only had one person who had no damages, and he actually 3 months later discovered he did have a little bit of damages in his roof. He didn't notice right away. So everybody's got some kind of damage. Make sure that you're reaching out to your tax pro to make sure that they know that, so that, or if you're doing your own taxes, that you're including that, so that you get the benefits that you deserve for the damages that your property sustained. Now, also keeping in mind, I'm speaking to, I should have said this initially, these are our homeowners. If you're renting and your house had damages, the homeowner gets to take that. So really, I'm talking to our homeowners. Now, if you're renting and you had damages to your stuff because water came up into your garage, maybe it didn't go in your house, but it went like in your garage or outside of your house and damaged some of your like exterior, like lawn equipment and stuff like that, this rule counts. Same thing for your vehicle. If you're renting, and I mean, vehicles, the insurance is being pretty good, but if you didn't put an insurance claim in for your vehicle, same thing, this would count too. So this is really all hurricane damages. But the main thing that we're seeing this specific rule benefit people on is their home damages, where they didn't think they had any. And after we have that conversation, they realize that they actually did have some, and that they are entitled to those benefits, and that they should take them on their 2022 taxes. So please reach out to your tax pro. If you don't have one, reach out to us, and we're happy to answer questions for you. It is Monday morning, so have a great rest of your week.